My name is Judith Moffett. I'm the manager of the Science Engineering and Supply Chain Division at Cpl. I manage a team of 13 consultants. In terms of the employment sectors that we specialise in, we focus on the biotechnology market, pharmaceutical, medical device, food, automotive, electronics, and the health and safety areas. Just to give a little bit of background to the team and why we think we can set ourselves apart from our competitors, my team is quite an unusual mix in that we've people coming from many different backgrounds. We've got engineers, scientists, business graduates. I've also got an advertising and communications graduate. We've also got someone coming from organisational psychology. So I think that's one of the interesting dynamics to this team, is that you've got a number of individuals who can see different aspects of every story and are able to put forward different solutions for every issue that may arise. In terms of the core value that I believe would represent the Science, Engineering and Supply Chain Division, I would say accountability. So I think not finishing the job until the job is done represents how I would describe our team. It's a division that's been around since the beginning of CPL. I mean, CPL was established in 1989 and the engineering department would have evolved quite shortly after that. The team, as it stands today, would actually have quite a strong scientific element to it now. The engineering area would have greatly developed as well. You would have a focus on the pharmaceutical, medical device and biotech. In terms of growth market for these particular areas at the moment, where we see the market going is continually becoming busier and busier within the scientific market. At the moment we have 9 out of the 10 top pharmaceutical companies here are actually within the island of Ireland, and 15 of the top 25 medical device companies are situated on the island of Ireland. Engineering has significantly picked up since the recession hit in 2008. We're certainly seeing an increase in those sectors. Supply chain has been a slower area to pick up, but that's certainly starting to come to the fray now when there's demand for planners and buyers in this market. I suppose number one on this would be our corporation tax. I mean, it's incredibly attractive for businesses coming to Ireland. The 12.5% rate has been something that we've been able to retain, and I think that has certainly been a heavy influencer on businesses coming to Ireland. Something else I would cite as being quite important is our highly educated workforce. We've got a significant proportion of our young people going to third level education, not just third level but fourth level education, doing masters and PhDs and going further on to postdoctoral work. In particular in the technical arena, this is absolutely critical. These clients, whether they're coming from Europe, US, are literally coming over looking for top class, world class research experience and research facilities, and I think that our universities here have done an incredible job of being able to produce this type of talent year on, year out. Certainly I think the IDA and Enterprise Ireland have done a sterling job in terms of attracting these multinationals to Ireland. But I think one of the factors that would definitely be an influence is the fact that 9 of the 10 pharma and biotechnology companies, the top pharma companies in the world, are already here and doing very well. It would help to know my background a little bit. So I'm a scientist by trade, and I actually did a master's in science communication. So it's a personal and professional passion, making sure that the public and a wider audience know about the wider scientific and engineering area. So based on that, I got involved in it's a European movement called the Café Scientifique. And it's based on events that started in France and in the UK, and essentially they are public forums that would take place in a very informal setting, whether it be a cafe or a pub, where an expert in a particular scientific or technical arena will come in and speak to a lay audience, and very open, very non-formal, non-seated, non-ticketed, non-fee paying event where people can come and ask questions of an expert. So I will be involved in this. I've been involved in it since for the last 8 years, and over that time we've had numerous experts in the scientific and technology area come and speak to that audience, to whether it be grandparents, parents, children, students, a real mix, people from all walks of life. And we've had topics ranging from nanoscience to Alzheimer's to autism to global warming, all arenas as such. We'd have it during Science Week, which is Discover Science and Engineering's initiative to get people into science as well. Recently, actually, we were involved in Science Week, so CPL and the Alchemist Cafe would have had an event in conjunction with the Irish Science and Journalists Association actually on the brain, and do we know it was the topic. You know, as I said, 50,000 people are employed in the life sciences environment here, and we've got 16,000 people employed in the wider engineering discipline. Both of them represent over 50 billion to the Irish economy every year, and if we don't have a pipeline of people going into the science and engineering courses, then we don't have this economy going forward. There's no question of it. So it's critical that people from a very young age understand and are excited and curious about science and technology, and can contemplate taking up courses in whether it be chemistry, maths, biology, chemistry, physics, and don't feel that fear that it'll be too difficult for me, or have that kind of preconceived misconception of the difficulty of these courses, because absolutely they're doable as any other subject. So it's really to get the public aware of that and to get everybody thinking and talking about these areas.